Hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to the morning coffee commentary. This old blazing fire back here reminds me of a story a old cowboy told me when I was out elk hunting in New Mexico. He said, Smokey the Bear is an idiot. And whenever he said that, he said, hey, I'm telling you, I got 50,000 acres here that's ready to go up in smoke, just like this big old bonfire behind me, because Smokey the Bear, back in the 70s, they invented this thing with the forestry department where they said, stomp out forest fires. Every little bit of forest fire everywhere, just stomp it out. Go and put it out. Put a fire tower on every hill, and anytime you see smoke, go put it out. He said the problem is, 30, 40 years later, we realize that we have the worst wildfires that we ever have in the history of mankind, world record wildfires. And the problem is they don't burn the fuel source. The fuel source doesn't burn a little along, and it just stacks up and stacks up and stacks up. Kind of like this old brush pile behind me. It's what I call my wintertime brush pile. As I'm pruning trees and cleaning out the landscaping around here and raking leaves and all that, I just pile it up on this pile. And when I do set it on fire, it goes into a big old fire. And that is exactly what that old cowboy was talking about. We actually try to fix things in nature, and we actually make it worse. Now, here's the deal. How do you apply this to a quick life lesson? Have you ever noticed that people go further in their life with old broken stuff, and they just keep piling it up and piling it up and piling it up, and then eventually, if they're lucky, they come along and God takes them into his hand, and they believe in him, and they accept him, and they follow him, and they are on fire because their fuel system built up to, just like this, man. This thing is warming my back right now. And that's a good example, a quick illustration of how if you're in your life now and you're old and along and you got a bunch of old busted up stuff in your past and you think, man, I ain't good enough for this. Not only are you good enough, not only will God accept you and cover those brokennesses in your life, he'll actually set you on fire more than anybody in the whole wide world, because you have much more to be thankful for. The world sure could use a little good news today.